Hey, beautiful people. So, welcome back to day 4 of the How to Get Monetized in 30 Days. I am Ashley. I am here taking you through my journey of how I was able to monetize my Faceless YouTube channel in 30 days with audiobooks. And I'm hoping that you were able to watch videos 1 through 3 so that you're caught up because each day does build on top of the other. So, if you haven't watched that, please make sure you go back, watch those videos, and then come back to this one. So on day 4, we're taking you through Grammarly, how not to plagiarize. And again, I said that this piece is optional because you may not be creating an audiobook or an ebook, I should say. You may just be doing motivational speeches or just giving tidbits of information. So everyone is not going to use Grammarly. And if you don't need it, at least you know how to use it. And it's just good information to have. But before we get deep into that, I almost forgot one of the most critical pieces of helping you get monetized in a short period of time. And that is creating headline catching titles for whatever it is that you put out. So your thumbnail, they say thumbnails are the thing that grabs a viewer. So you want to make sure your title is grabbable, if that's a word. You want to make sure your title stops someone in their tracks. And I can tell you, hands down, unequivocally, the one book that I put out is the reason that I would say I probably am seeing the success that I've seen so quickly. Because when you create a title, and we're going to go into this on the computer, but when you create a title, and you're not going to have to do this for every book. I don't do it for every book. I just had the inspiration, but you want to basically take what someone knows and turn it upside down, flip it on its head. And I'm going to show you what that means. So you take, everyone thinks that they know something. And if you can take someone's frame of mind and completely warp it and turn it upside down, that's going to grab people. And I can tell you with my hair growth company, that's exactly how I was able to see the success that I saw so quickly. So when I did my ads on Facebook, my opening to my ad that I recorded was, hey, did you know that the most powerful ingredient for growing back thicker, longer, fuller hair actually comes from a psychoactive substance? That's enough to stop anybody in their tracks. Somebody would be like, what the heck? A psychoactive substance helps your hair grow? Well, then I go into the spiel. That psychoactive substance is caffeine. A lot of people don't know that caffeine is a great hair growth ingredient. And so that was enough to get people to stop. I had astronomically high click-through rate, astronomically high ROAS on Facebook ads. And so that's how you want to think of your titles, your thumbnail when you are creating your audiobook. So I'm not going to prolong this. I'm going to shoot on over to the computer so we can dive right in. Hey everyone, so we are back to day 4, and just to recap yesterday, what we did was we asked chat to write us an ebook because I take my ebooks, turn them into audiobooks, and I gave it a lot of instructions, detailed instructions, basically to consider the tonality, the voice that I want to use, a lot of different information, the emotions that I want to elicit from the listeners, the readers, and it basically took that and gave us an outline for the book. The book I decided to go forward with is called Keep On Going. Well, that's the premise of it. That's not going to be the book title. That's one of the things I want to talk about today. And so I do want to note, like, I have all of this information. I had this whole back story of information and detail that I gave chat. And one thing that I do, in addition to keeping my little notes directly in my phone or on a piece of paper or something, chat has a talk to text feature on the mobile app. And so I will frequently, if something comes to me, I will go into chat, pull up the phone, push the microphone, and speak directly to it and give it a lot of detail, just basically putting my thoughts out there. It's easier to just speak my thoughts instead of trying to type them. So if you have like extra detail that you want to give chat to really help to bolster up your content, that's even better, because the more info, the more detail, the better. And the more it really encompasses what you are trying to convey to your listener. And so we got the full outline for the audiobook, ebook, and we had chat start to write out the book. And you guys are kind of in a good space right now with getting started, because I started to take you through the long format, which is write me, each section, each chapter, one by one. The introduction, we went through the intro. I loved it. I had chat write chapter one, and then I had chat write chapter two. And so then I got to thinking, because when I did ask it originally, it said, "Oh, do you want me to write the whole book or do you want to break it down?" So then after chat wrote chapter two, I started thinking, well, let me see what comes of having chat write out the entire chapter. So later on, I asked chat again, "Are you capable of writing the rest of the book, or should we continue to break it out by chapter?" Chat's confident and said, "I can definitely write the rest of the book if you prefer. How would you like to continue?" I thought that said, "Would you like to continue?" So I said, "Yes, please continue." And chat pretty much said, "Great. I'm going to continue to write out the rest of the book, maintaining the flow and the tone that we've established. And I'll include the next chapters and have a draft ready for you." So I was thinking, like, okay, it's only going to be like a few minutes, maybe up to an hour, for chat to give me the rest of the book. And so then I reached back out, like, "Hey, when is this going to be completed?" And chat says it's going to take about 24 to 48 hours for the book to be completed. I am anxious and excited to see how the rest of the book comes out. Based on the intro in chapter one and chapter two, I feel like chat has just beefed up its capabilities. And so if the rest of this book falls in line with what I'm looking for, I, moving forward, will have chat write my books out in full, in their entirety, at one time. And that means I'm going to save myself some time, and I'm going to be able to crank out more audiobooks and ebooks, which ultimately means more money in your pocket because of ad revenue. So that's something, please play around with. If you ask chat to do the section by section, go back in and see how it does with asking it to build out your full content. And so my full ebook, if it does come out to be 8 to 10,000 words, again, I will clean it up a little bit, but that ebook will be probably 50 minutes to 1 hour based on how much I take out of it. And so right now, I'm waiting for chat to finish my book. We'll see what it looks like, see the tone, see how it comes out. But in the meantime, we're going to focus on creating a title and subtitle for your book. And this is what's going to really get people in, or your content, your video, I should say. This is what's going to hook people in. So while chat is doing the background, I'm going to continue to stay into this chat and just ask chat, "Please write me a title and subtitle." And I want 5, actually. Write me 5. Or give me, that's usually what I say. Give me 5 titles and subtitles for this ebook. Let's see what chat gives us back. And it's thinking. Okay, so I always ask for subtitles, titles and subtitles. A lot of the times I like to mix and match. If it's something good, I'll take it directly from chat. But sometimes there's like little pieces of information that I like to pull out and mix together, and you'll see why. So the first one, keep going, the power of perseverance, how to break through fear, etc. Unstoppable, why success comes to those who never give up. Step by step, the path to success through consistency, one front in front of the other, rise and keep rising. So I can see that this is some stuff that I'll play around with. And, the first one is pretty straightforward. How to, whenever you say how to for pretty much anything, that really gets people to look. And I'm actually going to show you my thumbnail for my most viewed book, I should say. Am I clicking? Did I click it? So this is the book that really just took my channel through the stratosphere, and it's called The Law of Mind, Mastering Thought as the Ultimate Power to Transcend Attraction. Why the law of mind surpasses the law of attraction. And I don't think this is my most updated one. I have another one that has like, this is the updated one. I have one that has like that emoji with the his eyes coming out of his head. And so you're probably like, what the heck is a compilation? I seen this on someone else's channel. They didn't use the word compilation. They used something else. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let me just throw compilation in there. And then their channel and their thumbnail, they have rare audiobook. I didn't want to be a full copycat. So I was like, what's an alternative to rare audiobook? And I said, let me put limited audiobook. Have no idea what that means, but it looks good on my thumbnail. So I went with it. And I am I'm big on not reinventing the wheel. If I see something that someone is doing and it's working, I'm going to go with it. And so that's what I did. They had rare audiobook. Okay, I'm not going to copy you 100%. So I put limited. Don't reinvent the wheel. Like if you see something that's working for someone, there's a reason it's working. People are drawn to that. Okay, back to the title. So I was listening to something and the law of mind, I don't know if I was listening or reading something, and they mentioned the law of mind. I had never heard of the law of mind. And so this is one of the books that I kind of threw in before I really got into my process. I never heard of the law of mind. And so I did some research on it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like kind of like the law of attraction, but different. And so using my ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson marketing thought, I was like, how can I take this and kind of pit it against the law of attraction? Because a lot of the stuff that I put out is about the law of attraction. I want people to stop and, listen to this book. And most of the people that listen to my channel, all you can see in this YouTube Studio Analytics, I'll show that on another day, all of the stuff that people are searching for, content gaps for shorts and, other videos. So I can see that, my people are listening to law of attraction, anything about the universe. And so basically, law of attraction is like the height of heights for everything that they believe in, that they listen to. And I believe in the law of attraction, but I was so open to the law of mind and said, how can I basically take law of mind and flip it upside down to make people stop and watch or listen to my audiobook? And so I went with why the law of mind surpasses the law of attraction. So anyone who believes in law of attraction is going to say, what in the heck is the law of mind? I thought the law of attraction was like the epitome of the laws, the one that helps you to manifest. No one knew that there was something, in addition to or above the law of attraction. So that's what really helped to grab the attention of viewers on YouTube. This piece right here. It wasn't so much like, oh, the law of mind. It's like, why this law is better than the law of attraction. And so anyone who believes in law of attraction is going to be like, hold up, wait a minute. I need to listen to this book because this is probably why I'm not manifesting. I'm following the law of attraction and not following the law of mind. Well, if you listen to the book, they work, together. They're not much different. So it was a good grab. And so that's what you want to focus your title on. Again, it's not going to be every book. I can get myself wrapped up in titles. Okay, so if I'm not in the mood to like overthink, I will just pretty much come down here to where, whatever chat. So if I'm not in the mood to overthink and try to put stuff together, I'll take the one that I deem the best out of Chat GPT. But ultimately, you want something that really is going to grab the viewer, as they scroll through the thumbnail. And I'll show you how I create my thumbnails. I don't try to overdo it. I tried that in the past. It didn't work. I didn't get good clicks. And so I try to just keep it simple. But you want your title to just grab people. You may not always have a subtitle. I like subtitles because it allows me to put a little bit more information. So play around with titles and subtitles because that's a key piece to your thumbnail and to what's going to make someone want to listen to whatever it is that you're selling or offering up on YouTube. Okay, so now we are going to jump over to Grammarly. I told you I like Grammarly because it goes through the plagiarism checks. And so when you first upload into Grammarly, it does ask you, like, what is the goal that you're looking to achieve with this document that you're uploading? So mine, I go general. I don't try to, it's not academic or business. Creative, it could, but I just keep it general. My intent really is to inform people. Convince is kind of a good one, but I'm not here to sell you on anything. I just want to tell you, hey, this exists. If you want to change your life and you believe in some of this stuff, here's how you do it. And then the audience, I would say people that listen to like law of attraction stuff are knowledgeable. So I always select that because they've listened to a lot of different things on YouTube. They have some understanding. And then formality, it's nothing that's formal. I just keep it neutral. And then once you're done, you can just click done. And then Grammarly goes through a lot of information. And so they will give you like suggestions on the correctness, fix your grammar, the clarity, engagement, the delivery. I originally, when I started to use Grammarly, would go through each of the suggestions, and I think it took me like 3 hours. And I was like, okay, I can't do this. I'm not, an author that needs it to be perfect, grammatically perfect, all that stuff. So I don't do the suggestions that much. I'll see what, like when I use Microsoft Word, they have their AI tool. I'll take some of their suggestions and, review them, but I don't get into Grammarly that much. The one that I like with Grammarly is the plagiarism check. And this is the Law of Mind book that I just showed you. And so with the plagiarism check, I want to make sure that ChatGPT isn't taking someone else's work and giving it to me as my own. And so, didn't I say check plagiarism? What's it doing? Check for plagiarism. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you can see when it checks for plagiarism and AI text, it says we're comparing your document to billions of web pages and academic papers and detecting patterns often used by AI. So I like that feature. When I first started using Grammarly, they didn't have the AI check, but now everyone has it. And so you can see it just hit me with like a lot of this is AI. And so let me go down right here. So 75% of your document appears to be, 79%, excuse me, appears to be AI generated. So before I get to that, 2% of your document matches external sources. And so those 2%, sometimes it does use quotes. I like to quote people. So let's see, this text matches real estate investing path. You too can embark on a path to financial success. That is so like Chat GPT. That's something so small. I wouldn't worry about that. Cultivate a mindset of abundance and watch as your. That right there is so small. I wouldn't worry about that either. But I like that it does give you these checks. I like that it does give you these checks. In general, I don't even like for chat to use the word cultivate. So I would go in and completely change that up. Now, this is an old document. This isn't the finalized version. So I would go in and change this up. But you can see 75% of your document appears to be AI generated. And so you can see like right here, this section resembles AI text. And this is the stuff back when I had started, it didn't bother me that much. It's like, it's AI. Yeah, it's AI generated. So I didn't come in and change any of this. Once I got going, that's when I was like, I started to feed chat the no use words. I don't like to use the word embark. I don't like to use the word cultivate, transformation, journey, because chat GPT in particular overuses a lot of those phrases, and that's how, something like Grammarly can tell that this is predominantly AI generated. And so, this is why I like to edit each of my sections one by one from Chat GPT. Having Chat create the entire book at one time is something that's new for me, but I will go in and edit because I like to get rid of as much of the Chat AI verbiage as possible. So I have the paid version of Grammarly because I do put a lot of books in here, because I do publish them as ebooks. You may not need Grammarly at all. I do believe they have a free version, which may be enough for you to get by. So yeah, you want to put your stuff into Grammarly. So you can see right here, a growth mindset, the belief that you can. Like, that matches the text. You're going to have some stuff that matches text. If it was like a full paragraph or a full sentence, that's something where I'm like, oh, I have to completely change that. But, something small like this, I don't think I'm plagiarizing this person. Chat came up with this. But if you want to change it around, you can. It's not going to make or break your book, your content. You just want to make sure you're not doing a full plagiarism, especially in the law of attraction space. We hear the same things over and over. The writings are so similar, just some of the phrases are so similar. You're always going to hear a lot of the same, like energy flows where attention goes, or something like that's a popular one. So some things you're always going to hear, and there's no way around it because it's just a popular phrase in your area, in your genre. So it's good to put it in Grammarly just to make sure you're not plagiarizing. But now where it's like this section resembles AI text, this is the stuff that I really would be focusing on, because you want it to have as much of your personality as possible. Yes, AI helped you to generate it, but it's still yours. You want it to come across as yours. You don't want it to sound like every Joe Schmo who's publishing AI generated content on YouTube. Yours is going to be a little more natural. Yours is going to have a more natural feel to it. Like, you actually put the time to create it. And so, if, God willing, this doesn't happen to you, but if you do apply to be monetized and are denied, this is one of the things that I like to come in. Well, not that I like to, that I did show in my appeal video, so that they could see that I come in and do plagiarism checks. So I am not taking anyone's work that is published somewhere that I am not aware of. And so this is something, the Grammarly check is something that I did show directly in my appeal video. Again, I will make my appeal video available to you at the end of the course. And so you want to make sure you continue to follow through, because I do not know when the end video is going to be. If anything else comes up, I'll keep adding videos. All right. With that being said, I am going to wrap up because my face continues to freeze. It was doing good in the beginning. And so ultimately, your homework for today is to get your title and subtitle. Think about your title, subtitle. Make sure it is something that is catchy, that's going to flip the script on somebody's thought process, make them do a double take, like, wait a minute, what did I just read? I thought, the world operated in this way, but you just flipped the script and said, no, this is how it operates, because that's probably going to be the one that gets you going, gets that momentum going for your channel. And then if you do need to go into Grammarly, play around with Grammarly, upload, your book, your speech, or a chapter, a section, just to see how it works, see what type of information you get back, because it is good. It's a good tool. If you don't like Grammarly, there are alternatives. So feel free to find an alternative. Ultimately, you are going to want to work with what works best for you. And so it may be Grammarly, it may not. When I go into Canva, you may say, oh, well, I like Kittle or another, piece of software. So whatever works for you. I'm just showing you ultimately the how to, and you'll figure out, the source or the application to use. So go set yourself free, and I'll be back in, I'll say 1 or 2 days. I'll see how long it takes for chat to finish the book. So if I'm not back by tomorrow, it's going to be a couple of days. All right, so welcome back. I hope that you got some good information out of that video. So your ultimate homework is to make sure you create your title and subtitle. And if you haven't finished writing your book, speech, your content for your video, make sure you wrap that up. And once it's done, throw it into Grammarly or an alternative to make sure you do your plagiarism check. And if you want to check your punctuation and all that good stuff. And so get that done, because after that, that's when we're going to add any audio to the video, to the content, etc. If you're using your own voice, kudos to you. Pat on the back, because I tried it. I can't do it. I'm going to use 11 Labs. And so that's where we will pick up. So if you have any questions, please make sure you leave them in the comment section. Let me know any questions, comments, feedback, and I will make sure to get that information answered. And if there's anything else that you feel like is missing, if you have any gaps as you're going through your process. Now, this is my process. Everyone's process is going to be different. This is just to give you the pieces. You can choose to put your pieces together however fits best for you, your lifestyle, your schedule. This is the order that I take. Ultimately, once you start to get your hand into chat, into Canva, into some of the other systems, you'll figure out what works best for you. But in the meantime, go be free, go be Chat GPT experts, and become the authors and motivational speakers that have been hiding inside of you this whole time. We're about to let it out. We're about to leash you into the YouTube world. So let's get to it, and I'll talk to you soon. Make sure you push that like button, because I know this is some good information, and subscribe so you know when I upload the next video, because again, that's going to be in 24 to 48 hours based on when chat finishes up my book, and then we can get to it. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.